Hey guys, Thea here. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. So today we're gonna need some weights. Are you ready for it? Okay, so if I'm using 10 pounds today, we're gonna get a little bit heavier, but feel free to use 5s, feel free to use cans of food, like you can use cans of beans or something. Feel free to use 8s, 12s, whatever you have in your house, no pressure here. So we're gonna focus on building strength and building muscle in our arms. So we're gonna start with a little bit warm up. So you can sit in a chair. I'm gonna sit crisscross today, just to feel comfortable. So we're gonna start here and I want you to sweep an arm forward. So we're just loosening up that shoulder, not thinking about it too much, just kind of loosening it up, letting it all go. Just shake it out. Coming back to our breath, letting it all go. Nice. All right, so we're gonna try that other arm. Just shaking it out. So whenever you lift weights, you want to make sure you're nice and warmed up, and you want to do things that aren't going to fatigue the muscles too much before you start. So here we're just kind of throwing that arm around, not really doing a lot with it, just reminding our blood, hey, go over there. You're going to start to use these muscles, so be ready for it. Okay, so we're gonna take our palms forward. We're gonna bring them as far back as we can, turn them all the way around, palms back forward, bring them back. Turn those palms around and bring them back. So we're just kind of playing with all of those muscles that sort of hold in that rotator cuff. You've got your, all of your rotator cuff muscles in there, your teres minor, all of those things that kind of hold your shoulder on. What I usually like to focus on working is your deltoid, which is that muscle that wraps around the top of your shoulder. It makes it nice and cute. But we also, a lot with Pilates, focus on our lats, which is that muscle that pulls from our spine all the way up to our shoulder. And then we have a lot of insertion points on our triceps brachii and our biceps brachii. So we have, our scapula in there that kind of has different attachment points, like our glenoid fossa and our acromion process, that kind of hold our shoulder in place. So our only bone that actually articulates with our humerus, this long bone right here, is actually our clavicle. So there is a glenoid cavity that meets with our scapula, but there's all kinds of things in there, and muscles, attachments and things. So the bones actually don't articulate together. So that's all a joint is when two bones articulate. So just to give you some sort of nerdy language here. So we're gonna start with one weight here. We're gonna grab onto that weight, and I want you to just press it up towards the ceiling and bring it back down. So just squeezing it up, pulling it back down. Kind of finding where that feels good, where that feels nice. Letting go of that tension in our head and our neck, pressing it up to the ceiling. Beautiful, kind of slowing it down. We're shooting for 8 to 12 of these. We're about to do 12 here, depending on how heavy your weight is. All right, so we're gonna grab it in one hand, and I want you to bring that arm up, and you're just gonna bend it back behind you and straighten it. Now, if your weight is too heavy this week, you can do this with double hands. We're really focusing in on that tricep, which connects to your elbow, your olecranon process, all the way down to those muscles that support your shoulder. Gorgeous job. Let's go ahead and try that other side. Whenever you're first getting into weightlifting, I want you to do just as many as you can. Try to go really slow. Ooh, hello, elbow pop. Trying to focus on form. I have an elbow injury. You heard that pop right when we started. So I'm just gonna be really ginger to my elbows. This is a really great way to strengthen in there. You are incredible. Okay, so we're gonna find both of those weights now. And what I'm gonna have you do is you're gonna turn your palms out to the side. You're gonna really lift that chest. We're gonna squeeze it in. We're gonna come back down. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna come up. 1, 2. Come back down. 2, 3, 4, 5. So it's 2 counts up, 3 counts down if you're wanting to know kind of how to do it. The work is really in that down, right? It's really in letting that gravity pull, finding that control. That's really where the strength building is for this one. So being really kind to yourself. Down, 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 down. Again, you can stand for this workout or sit in a chair, just somewhere where your spine is tall. There's no tension in your neck. It shouldn't be uncomfortable for you to sit however you're sitting today. Let's do one more. Whew. All right, we're gonna really slow it down here. And so what I'm gonna have you do is you're gonna bring an arm up, just one arm up, and we're gonna send that weight up to the ceiling. Then we're gonna bring it back down. So kind of finding a spot for you that feels right. Some people like it a little more out to the side. Some people like it a little more forward. I like somewhere in the middle of those two, just because that's gonna be the maximum growth for those delts. So we're gonna be working your anterior, posterior delt here, just pressing it up. We're not holding on tension. We're not trying to work our traps right now. Leave that neck alone. Coming back to that breath. I like the way weightlifting makes me feel. Like I'm like, whoa, I'm getting sweaty. I'm feeling my muscles work. Let's go ahead and try that other side nice and slow. Shake it out. That should have been 12. I don't know how to count every day. Some days I forget how to count. Coming back to our breath. Breathing in through that nose. Kind of slowing it down, finding our control. Ooh-wee. How does that feel? So let's shake it out. We're gonna do big flicks with our wrists. It's a great way to strengthen those wrists a little bit, especially if you're having wrist issues. One of the big things I notice when people get into weightlifting is they inappropriately hold the weights. So you never wanna hold a weight like this. It's the worst way to hold a weight. You wanna make sure that you're strong. It kind of hurt to hold a weight like that. So you wanna make sure that you're holding it nice and strong, that you have this control here. So we have all these carpal bones that are really delicate in here, but they're also very, very strong. But a lot of our forearm muscles that run in through actually connect to different fingertips, and actually the control of our fingertips runs all the way up through our forearm. So there's a lot of strength within our wrist that we can definitely tap into. So if you feel like you do have weak wrists, there's definitely ways to strengthen it. So I call these around the world. So we're gonna take a weight in our hand and we're just gonna draw a big circle around our head and back over. So try not to hit yourself in the head, please. Please don't hit yourself in the head. But here we're just trying to get on in there. What did I do with my hair? It's okay if your hair gets involved. It's all right. Just really put it up. Trying to keep that tension out of your neck, just in those shoulders. Just making sure all those supporting synergist muscles within our shoulders are strong and activated and supporting us, protecting those shoulder joints. Ooh, all right, let's let go all of that. So we're gonna stretch it out. I want you to pull this arm over and look over that shoulder. Let's bring it all out, shake it all out. So I recommend probably going back through this 2 times at least, coming back through those different arm muscle, all those arm strengtheners. I'm gonna grab that one. And that'd probably be a great workout just to start, especially if you're new to weightlifting or new to picking up weights. Because every time you lift weights, you're gonna get a little stronger. So let's do some big shoulder rolls to let go of that tension in our head and our neck. Let go. Before you lift weights, I want you to make sure you're warmed up, so you did some dynamic stretching. And after you lift weights, I want you to make sure that you drink water and you get some protein. So if you are trying to grow some muscle, eat some protein that your body likes to digest, the protein that works for you. A lot of people have some misconceptions about what protein, carbs, and other things are, which is really interesting to me. Like somebody told me that they thought avocado was a protein, and it is a fat. It is not a carb or a protein. It's actually packed with omega-3s, which is really great, but it is not a protein. There are things like spinach that has quite a bit of protein and iron in it. So a smoothie of spinach is actually great after a workout for sure. But just make sure you're getting protein that your body likes and you understand the difference between those. And if you don't, I do have a free guide up on my website that can kind of walk you through getting started in fitness and sort of learning, you know, what is a macro, what is a macronutrient, what are we talking about, what is a micronutrient, what do I actually need, and kind of get through some of the BS of all of that. And I also, so let's take those hands on those hips and let's push it shoulder forward, because I want to make fitness and all these things much more accessible for you. I want this to be easy. I want it to be fun. I would think your health is the number one important thing, even if you never, you know, send me a dime watching my videos, using my free knowledge that I give out there, hopefully make your life better. It's all I care about. So thank you guys so much for joining me, and I will see you tomorrow.